I met a girl with a fiancé and messed it all up. The stale beer smell of O'Malley's clung to my clothes as I stumbled out into the night. Mark was already halfway down the block, yelling something about needing pizza. I wasn't hungry, just empty. Another Friday night, another round of awkward small talk and forced laughter. Since the breakup with Emily, everything felt muted. I almost walked right past her. She was sitting alone at one of the outdoor tables, nursing a glass of wine. The streetlights caught the highlights in her dark hair, making it look like spun gold. I don't usually approach women, especially alone at bars, but something about her vulnerability made me stop. Mind if I join you? I asked, probably sounding like a complete idiot. She looked up startled, then smiled. Please do. Her name was Ava. We talked for hours, not the usual bar pickup banter. Real conversation. About dreams, fears, stupid jobs we'd had, books we loved. It felt effortless, like I'd known her forever. Then as I was walking her to her car, she dropped it. I should probably mention I'm engaged. The air went out of me. The perfect night, the spark, the feeling that maybe, just maybe, things were looking up, gone. Oh, was all I managed. Yes, she said, a hint of sadness in her voice. It's complicated. She gave me her number anyway. Call me, she said, then slipped into her car and drove off. I knew I shouldn't. Sarah, my voice of reason friend, would have skinned me alive. But I did. I texted her the next day. We met for coffee, then drinks. Then it started with stolen kisses in dark corners, hushed phone calls during her lunch break. Ava told me about David, her fiancé. A doctor, successful, always working. He's a good man, Liam, he really is. But he doesn't see me. Not like you do. That was my weakness, I guess, being needed. Feeling like I was making a difference. The physical connection was electric. A desperate, almost frantic need for each other. Every touch felt illicit, dangerous, but impossibly right. We'd meet at her apartment when David was on call, the guilt a constant hum beneath the surface of passion. Sarah found out, of course. Liam, what the hell are you doing? This is going to end badly. For everyone. I know, I'd say. But I didn't stop. I couldn't. I was hooked. Addicted. Ava started pushing. More time, more commitment, more everything. My work suffered. My friendships faded. I was living in a bubble with Ava, a bubble built on lies and stolen moments. One night, after a particularly intense encounter, she said, I think I'm falling in love with you, Liam. The words should have thrilled me. Instead, they filled me with dread. The fantasy was becoming reality. David started getting suspicious. He started calling more, wanting to know where she was, who she was with. Ava became increasingly agitated, snapping at me one minute, clinging to me the next. Chloe, a nurse who worked with Ava, became a confidante, or so it seemed. She'd offer advice, listen to Ava's woes, and occasionally pass along information about David's schedule. I never fully trusted her, but I couldn't deny she was helping Ava manage the increasingly complex web of lies. Then came the night at Trattoria Roma. David had taken Ava there to try and make things up, a surprise dinner date. I'd gone with Mark and a couple of co-workers. We were seated across the restaurant. I saw them first. Ava looked stunning in a red dress, but her face was etched with tension. David was talking animatedly, oblivious. Then Ava saw me. Our eyes locked. A flicker of panic crossed her face. I looked away, pretending to be engrossed in Mark's boring story about his new car. But I couldn't help myself. I kept glancing back. Ava was whispering something to David, her hand on his arm. He followed her gaze and saw me. His face hardened. He said something to Ava, his voice low and tight. She shook her head, pleading. He stood up, knocking over his wine glass. Red wine splattered across the white tablecloth. You, he said, pointing at me. His voice was loud enough for the entire restaurant to hear. You're the one she's been seeing, aren't you? The blood drained from my face. I wanted to disappear. The whole restaurant was staring. Ava stood up, her face a mask of shame and fear. David, please, it's not what you think. Don't lie to me, Ava, he roared. I deserve better than this. He stormed out of the restaurant, leaving Ava standing there, humiliated. I wanted to run, to disappear, but I couldn't. I walked over to her. Ava, just go, she whispered, tears streaming down her face. Please just go. I left. I didn't sleep that night. The next day, Ava called, sobbing. David had kicked her out. The engagement was over. Liam, I have nowhere else to go, she said. I need you. This was it. The moment I'd been waiting for, right? The chance to finally be with Ava openly, honestly. But all I felt was panic. She moved into my small apartment. It was cramped, uncomfortable, and filled with unspoken tension. I realized I didn't know Ava at all. Not the real Ava. Just the version she presented to me in stolen moments and whispered lies. She was demanding, clingy, and constantly needed reassurance. The spark was gone, replaced by a dull, resentful ember. I started avoiding her, making excuses to stay late at work. One night, Sarah came over. "You look like hell," she said, not unkindly. "What happened to you?" I told her everything. The affair, the fight at the restaurant, the broken engagement, Ava moving in. She listened patiently, then said, "Liam, you messed up. Big time, you need to fix this. Not for Ava, but for yourself." I knew she was right. I couldn't keep living like this. I talked to David. It was the hardest conversation of my life. He was angry, hurt, but surprisingly composed. He told me about his plans, the life he had built for himself and Ava, all crumbling. He didn't yell or scream, he just looked defeated. "I thought I knew her," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "I guess I was wrong." I apologized. It felt hollow, inadequate, but it was all I could offer. Then I talked to Ava. It was even harder. I told her I couldn't do this, that I wasn't ready for a relationship, not like this, that I needed time to figure myself out. She didn't take it well. Accusations flew. Tears flowed. She called me selfish, a coward, a liar. Maybe she was right. She moved out the next day. Back to her parents' house, she said. I didn't ask for details. I haven't seen her since. The guilt still lingers, a dull ache in my chest. I hurt 2 people, maybe 3, including myself. I destroyed a relationship, a life, all for a fleeting moment of passion, a desperate need to feel something. I started seeing a therapist. Sarah dragged me, kicking and screaming. I needed to understand why I made those choices, why I was so easily led astray. I'm still working on it. Sometimes, late at night, I wonder what happened to Ava. Is she happy? Did she find someone who could give her what she needed? And I wonder about David. Did he ever find forgiveness? Did he rebuild his life? I don't know. And maybe I never will. The only thing I know for sure is that I messed it all up. And the consequences are something I'll have to live with for a long, long time.